God speaks in verse 9. In Exodus 16, and starting in verse 9, we see Moses and Aaron again, and specifically Aaron's going to announce to the community of Israel some things. It says, Then Moses said to Aaron, announce this to the entire community of Israel. Present yourself before the Lord, for he has heard your complaining. Remember, this goes back to verses 2 and 3 and the following verses there, right? And it talks about the provisions in verses 6 through 8. So announce this. Present yourself, Lord, so he heard your complaining. So that's kind of scary in of itself. And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out towards the wilderness, and there they could see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Then the Lord said to Moses, I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat, and in the morning you have all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God. Okay, so they had been complaining, and they are basically gathered together. He speaks to the whole community. So picture, the people gathered. Probably Aaron is, up on elevated. He's up on a hill, whatever. He's talking to the people. He's telling them. And the cloud, right? We have the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire that track back to the Exodus from the very first part when they left after the plague of the firstborn, the death of the firstborn. So this is still with them. And this is the glory of the Lord. This is his presence. He was the pillar of fire to guide them if they traveled at night. He was the pillar of cloud during the day. And so as they see this, it says that they see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Now, what did that exactly look like? We hear about God's, it's referred to as the Shekinah glory. And that's probably what I kind of picture here. God, it's a glow. It's his glory. It's his presence. Can I perfectly picture what that looks like? No. I sure wish I could. But it had to be awe-inspiring to know that's God's presence. Like God's presence is there in a visible fashion. And then something that's very interesting is in verse 12. It says then, start verse 11. And the Lord said to Moses, I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat. In the morning you have all the bread you want. When I go back and look at that, that's already been said to them. So this is being restated. And what I think is happening here, I think this goes back to the cloud, that we are literally hearing the voice of the Lord here. That had to be quite something for the people to hear. So I think they audibly heard God speaking to Moses. It doesn't make quite perfect sense otherwise. So God is making it real clear. You're complaining against me. Look who I am. Look what I have done. I'm going to supply your needs. Remember, I don't think God supplies their needs because they're screaming and complaining. I think God's supplying their needs because he knows what they need. He is their sustainer. He is their creator. He is their savior. He is their redeemer, their deliverer. And so he's doing these things not because of complaint, but because he is good. How good is our God? Have a great day.